All right, if everyone can please exit the track, exit to the pit lane or exit the pits, just pull off so you can hear all of the drivers in meeting notes. Get started here right now. All right, welcome everyone to the Season 4 of the Winter Fall Series. We're here with the LMP3 GT3 Championship Series. Welcome to all the returning members and all the new CMS members to the iRacing League. Thank you for joining tonight, and looking like a pretty good crowd between the classes. So I'll try to keep all the notes pretty concise tonight. So welcome to Sebring. We are here, the series is brought to you by the Champion Motorsports, and I'm here with my fellow admin, Ryan Thompson. Tonight we'll do a 60-minute race with pit stops. The fuel probably won't be enough to make it to the end, but just keep an eye on it. Tires will be optional as well. Remember, iRacing will give you a penalty, a drive-through penalty for every 17 incident points tonight. If you do get damaged, you'll have one fast repair to use, so be sure it's checked if you want to use it. Since we're doing multi-class here, we would prefer the GT3 class to leave a 7-second gap to the start. So whoever is going to be on pole tonight for GT3s on the front row, please keep that in mind, 7 seconds. The orange zone tonight will be start-finish line all the way through turn 7, which is the end of the kind of middle straight of the circuit, right before the hairpin, or right after the hairpin, I should say. So just remember, orange zones are the special zones that normally apply to the first lap only here at CMS. Incidents that happen in these orange zones are automatically reviewed by the stewards and will carry upgraded penalties for people to be found at fault. So still want you guys to race hard, but just be careful through the orange zone on the first lap. If you do happen to have an on-track incident with another driver, we suggest watching the replay and chatting over DMs after the race. Please don't discuss during the race. All right. Should we need it, full course yellows will be called via the race director, Ryan, if we have to issue it. We've never had to do that for as long as I've been racing, so just FYI, it'll be on screen instructions with the iRacing commands. And last but not least, the quali session will be 10 minutes, 2 laps. And just remember to please keep all comms, voice and text clear during this time until the last driver finishes. Just wait till the end of the session before asking other questions or talking. And that's pretty much it. If there's any questions, ask now. There's a few other topics we'll discuss when everybody's gridded up for the start of the race.
Hey guys, also JT Tami was kind enough to do a broadcast tonight on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CMS Racing. So let's support him.
Awesome. Thank you, JT. All right, feel free to get back on track. You got about a minute and a half left to practice, and then we'll start quali.
All right, test. Can you hear me, Bobby? Let's see if this works. Alrighty. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is CMS Racing running their LMP3 GT3 Multi-Class Series Championship, Season 4 for 2023. This is round 1 at Sebring International Raceway, Sebring, Florida. As you can probably tell, this is iRacing, not R Factor 2, as is apparently labeled on the Twitch stream. We'll have to get that fixed post-production. But this is an iRacing event from our weekly Wednesday night series here at CMS. It will be a multi-class race featuring both LMP3 and GT3 cars. There we go. I have managed to figure out how to see cars during qualifying. Please forgive me, this is the first time I have done any sort of streaming through iRacing, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But what I can tell you about is the cars and the racers that you will be seeing tonight. Alright, here we go. This is Paul Darling here, who was the quickest LMP3 in our practice session at a 155 flat. Easy 6/10 over both Miguel and Rafael, who put in identical lap times, which is excellent to see. It's going to be quite interesting to see how these LMP3s are going to navigate Sebring during the course of a 60-minute race. As you may be aware, Sebring International Raceway is built on top of an old U.S. Army airfield used in World War II for training bombers such as the B-24 Liberator and the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. As such, a lot of the concrete is quite bumpy and has not been replaced since the 1940s. It's especially noticeable the back part of the track going into turn 17. Unfortunately, the LMP3 does not handle bumps too well. This is a combination of its more generic and commercially available suspension, as well as the type of car, specifically dealing with its weight. Lighter cars can tend to struggle over severe bumps and break traction much easier than a heavier car, such as our GT3s. GT3s are also quite a bit more advanced in terms of technological developments. Currently, James Gong, fastest in practice at a 20.2 Lamborghini Huracan. Currently sitting 3/10 behind Chris Hudson. The Can-Am Ferrari. This is the Ferrari 296, which debuted this year at the 24 Hours of Daytona in IMSA. It has certainly divided Ferrari fans due to its unique body styling, but has so far shown to be quite the competent race car. LMP3, Christian Colando is currently leading, putting in a second lap at a 155 flat. And as I say that, Michael Parker does a 54.9. Christian Youngwall in the Porsche 992 goes quickest in GT3, 59.75. Unlike its real-life counterpart, the Porsche is quite competitive in iRacing. The real-life counterpart, unfortunately, which debuted this year at the 24 Hours Daytona, as well as the Ferrari, suffers from a significant amount of downforce that was applied to the car in design. This has meant on the straightaways, it is definitely a hindrance, shall we say, compared to the rest of the GT3 class. It has required several waivers from IMSA to give the car more power to make it more competitive. But even so, Porsche has been diligently working on a solution to make these cars much better for 2024. Christian does not improve his time, but has 10.5 over the field this time. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Paul Darling has gone quickest in LMP3. We're looking at 18 LMP3s tonight, which is a good size field. My apologies, 19 LMP3s. I have a total of 47 cars. Jason Lundy coming to a stop outside turn, looks like 13, Tower Corner. No, that's turn 3. Looks like just a lockup under braking. Very easy to do in these cars. Just got in a little bit too deep. Matteo Scaptura, one of our prominent Assetto Corsa Competizione drivers, joining us this season. Very competitive, but there's definitely a learning curve hopping back and forth between these various sims. Oh, a little bit of contact exiting turn 17 there. As we go back live, the final 30 seconds of qualifying. Doesn't look like anyone else is on a hot lap at this time. It looks like Miguel Colon had being out Paul Darling for that top spot at a 154.6. Rodney Campbell rounds out the top 5 from who we were discussing earlier at a 55.4.
All right, congratulations to Miguel, Mr. I'm going back to GT3 for the pole in LMP3 tonight. And congratulations, Christian, on the pole in GT3. Just the last few reminders. Please no tire or brake warming on the formation lap. Remember to keep comms clear unless it's an emergency to try to avoid some major pileup at T1 or something. Leaders, GT3s, please leave a 7-second gap on the start. And remember, we all go on green lights here at CMS. All right, and last thing, just remember, you guys load your fuels, race fuel setups. Made the mistake last week, and everyone have fun. And just be sure to respect everyone and into T1, and just try to have a good race tonight.
All right, some final pre-race notes from Michael Parker. Should be noted that while Miguel Colon does refer to himself as the new guy in LMP3, the entire field is new to LMP3, which was just added to iracing only a couple months ago. And this is the first season CMS will be running the LMP3. So we are all new guys. Expect Miguel to be quite competitive this year, as he is in just about everything he races.
Loud and clear.
Quick look at the times. Top 4, Miguel, Paul Darling, Michael Parker, and Christian Okudo. All within a half second there. So that's definitely going to be a very good fight for the podium there, as the cars roll off the grid. In GT3, it looks like the top 10 cars were all within 1 second of each other. So that is definitely going to be competitive. It's going to be very interesting to see how the LMP3s will be navigating GT3s around here. LMP3 has the aerodynamic advantage, being able to carry a bit more speed into medium and high speed corners, as well as carry the speed on the exit. Unfortunately, Sebring, due to the bumpiness nature and several slow corners, is going to add a bit of difficulty to the LMP3s here. In terms of straight line speed, they're roughly identical to the GT3s. It's going to depend on how trimmed out the cars are in a straight line, and the draft will give us a clear idea of which cars will have an easier ability to pass the slower class.
Sorry about that. We're new guy.
Why is Miguel saying sorry? Brief off track. Not the best thing to be doing in the hairpin, turn 7. It's going to be very interesting to watch the start here. LMP3s take a little bit longer to warm up their tires, so expect to see quite a bit of lockups in this opening lap. GT3s will also need a bit of time to warm up their tires, but due to their weight advantage, they'll have a little bit more mechanical grip early on, which is quite important in our first sector. Alright, as you can see, come down the back straight here, Ullman Straight. We have about a 5-second gap between our LMP3 field and the GT3 field as a precaution for any incidents that start to happen here in the first lap. Now, orange zone starts from the start-finish line up to the hairpin in turn 7. In this zone, drivers are supposed to be a little bit more cautious than normal to make sure no incidents occur. Incidents that occur in the orange zone can be penalized more severely than normal. Alright, we're all lined up. Green flag is out. And we are going 60 minutes tonight at Sebring International Raceway, round 1 of our LMP3 and GT3 series. Pretty clean initially, coming through the LMP3 field. As they barrel into turn 3 here, lockups up ahead, but they navigate it mostly clean. GT3s have taken the green, heading through turns 1 and 2 and approaching turn 3. Looks like we are mostly staying green. Looking like a pretty clean start so far. No change into the top 5 in LMP3. Coming into turn 10, Christian still leads the GT3s. Building a small safety gap already. Oh, yellow flag coming into turn 14. Tadas looking on Jason Lundy. For some reason, Tadas did not qualify. Carries a little bit too much speed into 17 and loses quite a bit of time there. Looks like a rough start for Bobby as Mateo, by the looks of it, had an incident into turn 1. If I go back here, you can see just what happened to Bobby on the back part of the track here. Looks like it was contact, hitting the back. Oh no, upset on the curb. Job locking the brakes though, but
Yeah.
meanwhile, what happened to Mateo? Leaving room to 17, running a bit wide. Looked like a light brush in the tire wall there. Oh, contact directly in front. Oh, bit of squeezing from Rodney here, and Mateo just runs way too deep in. Loses the rear end and into the wall at the exit of turn 1. Now the downside for these LMP3s that have succumbed to a bit of difficulty is now being compounded by the fact that they're having to catch back up and get through the front pack of the GT3 class, which are running quite quickly. You can see here as we go on board with Rodney, there's not going to be a substantial pace difference with the GT3s. until we get to the braking. A little bit of a struggle there. Very good fight going on behind. Sam Scott holding off Kevin Ayers. Rafael Sosa up to 4th after starting 6th. Seems to be holding off Christian at the moment. Seems to be changing lines on the back straight.
Back straight, Rodney.
Looks like a great song for John Banks after qualifying 11th in LMP3, up to 6th in class already. This is where you want to be as a driver. No threat behind, with cars in front to chase down. Navigates turn 7 very well. Up the gears. Coming through turns 8 and 9. Approaching turn 10. Heavy on the brakes here. Careful on the bumpy concrete. Alright, so the top 6 definitely have a bit of a gap to Doug Hintz back in 7th. Miguel unable to break away at this point. Same thing at the head of the GT3 field. Christian Youngwall still has that lead. But even so, James Gong and Chris Hudson are staying right there. You can see the GT3s are able to take advantage of some of these inside curbs significantly more than the LMP3s. It's good to see James Gong racing tonight. Chris Hudson's in a bit of a difficult situation here, trying to make sure James is not able to get away, at the same time having to watch in the mirrors for the LMP3. which is only going to get more and more impatient, having not a significant pace difference to get by quickly. Absolutely crucial here that he's able to make sure there's no dive bomb attempts while not sacrificing any time. You can see the pace difference as you get towards the top speed of these cars. It's just not that much. Ultimately, not that much time lost there as Rodney gets by nice and cleanly. Looks on trying to get past Christian here. Not going to be able to do it into turn 3. He's going to try to set up a good exit out of turn 5 for the approach to turn 7. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though. A little bit further back, Tyler Lemp holding off Samuel Scott, Kevin Ayers, James Stacy. Blimp cam. Alright, looks like Miguel still leads over Paul. Across the line, less than a half second between them. Michael Parker falling slightly further behind. John is doing an excellent job there, sticking with Christian and Rafael. Total gap from first to sixth, 4.5 seconds. The fight for 6th place, Tim Collier's holding back Davis Braun. BMW M4 with Mark Nisser just behind in the Porsche 992. Dave McNeils is looking to line up a pass and opportunity on Simon Taggart here, coming into 17. He's going to try to prioritize the exit here. Being able to carry just a little bit more speed thanks to the handling properties of the Ferrari being mid-engine compared to the front-engine Mercedes AMG up ahead. It's alongside on the exit of the hairpin as they go through turn 8 side by side. Simon's going to get the advantage through 9 and stay a little bit ahead into turn 10. David's going to have to back out here. Struggling for grip on the exit there, as is Simon. Oh, light contact at the apex. Coming from a bit too far behind, and that gives, I believe that's Richard McClure the run there for the overtake. Going very wide into 16, Sunset Corner. Sunset Bend, I believe it's called. Trying to line up a pass in the draft on the back straight here. A little defensive coming into braking for turn 17. Runs the inside line, and Simon struggles for grip on the outside there. He's going to lose 2 positions. Oh, there's contact! Significant contact. Oh, David McNeils. Unfortunately, it looks like David's tracking out here and just not fully cleared. And just all it takes is just a little bit of net code from the Mercedes and heavy damage. The good news is you get 1 fast repair. Bad news is that's gonna take some time regardless. Looks like Paul Darling was successful in taking the lead from the new guy as they come through GT3 traffic. Let's see if I can take a look back here and find out where that pass occurred. No luck. Oh well. Risky lunges from the LMP3s to get the GT3 out of the way. But that has definitely cost some time to Paul, who's going to take this opportunity to run away. Still top 6, 5.5 seconds. John getting by Christian to get up into 5th as Paul makes contact with the inside wall in Sunset. Oh, that is bad. Car looks relatively okay so far. that's definitely gonna cost him. It's really hard with the LMP3 due to the location of this A-pillar here, and yeah, he's just setting up really inside there. Lucky able to keep it relatively forward facing there. We'll have to keep an eye on if he has to pit due to steering damage. But that has definitely allowed Miguel and Michael to pull a safe gap here. A little bit further back in the battle for 12th, Jason Lundy and Tadas Likas running relatively close here. Jason Lundy running a Porsche GTP livery on their LMP3. Looks pretty good. Jason was at Run Sport this past weekend, enjoying the plethora of Porsches that showed up at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. A little bit further back, it looks like David Anderson got back by Bobby. I'm sorry, Bobby, I'm not going to attempt your last name. Bobby, another one of our ACC drivers, joining us in iracing. Joined us last year in GT3, or I should say last season in GT3s. Quite a bit of success. Definitely going to be seeing how well he's going to be able to run in LMP3 this year. His pace has been looking pretty good. As he's finding out here, sometimes it's a bit difficult.
Come on, Paul.
Oh, as he loses control into turn 1, just lightly in the wall there. That is unfortunate. These LMP3s, they really struggle over the bumps. And here it's just, the car produces downforce just not enough to keep it really planted through such a high-speed corner. And you could see it sent the rear around there. Real quick, let's rewind. Sounding like there's a possible issue at the front of the LMP3 field. Looks like GT3 traffic getting out of the way, which is admirable, but being a bit unpredictable for the LMP3s can cause some issues sometimes. As we catch up here. Wow, as we see, just trying to avoid these GT3s. As we go live, under braking, Michael defending from Paul for second. But sacrifices the exit here. Paul's going to try to get a run. He's going to pull alongside the driver's left as they come into turn 10 here. Michael's going to defend on the inside. Leaves room on the outside. Oh! And there's contact. The front end of Parker off. Oh boy, these LMP3s do not take damage very well. It looks like he just got a bit loose here. Oh, nope, just the fun of netcode. From Paul. That's a big shame for both those cars, as he's gonna limp back to the pits here. Trying to stay out of the way of the GT3s here. I believe that's sister car to James. Not sure who. Audi Reynolds. Michael's going to come down on pit lane here. I believe Paul Darling has already taken to the pits with a fast escape. Unfortunately, both those drivers are just going to start to tumble down the order here. Meanwhile, new guy definitely doing a bit of a happy dance there. His main rivals have taken each other out of the running for the moment, which is going to allow Miguel to build a nice, comfortable pace here. With a nice 7-second gap over Rafael Sosa in second and Christian Guido in third. Looks like Mark Nisser was able to get around both Davis Braun and Tim Collier, taking 6th place in GT3. It looks like Tim is just slightly pulling out of the way to let Davis Braun through. Which is probably a good call. Sometimes if you just don't have the pace, or you're worried about looking in your rear mirrors too much, it's sometimes better to just let a faster car through. That way, you significantly decrease the risk of contact, and by having a faster car in front of you, you can try to use it as a pace to try to make yourself run a bit quicker. Alright, it's looking like so far out of our 49 car field, only one retirement so far, AJ Candala. Let's see if we can find out what the issue was. If the replay will let us. Little bit of handling issues on the bumps in turn 10 there. Oh, we have our second retirement. Paul Darling has left the server. Oh, don't get to see what happened there. Oh well. Peter Brown leading Larry Ford and Tyler Lem. In the Pneumatic Motorsports BMW M4 GT3. Good battle for second in GT3. James Gong, Chris Hudson. Both very good racers. And generally very clean and respectful when it comes to close racing. It looks like their battling has allowed Christian Youngwall to pull about a 4-second gap at the front of the GT3 field. Sean New makes an apology. Wonder what for. And we don't get to see. Cool. Sean New rejoins, coming out of the pits here, staying wide. Excellent job there. Here we see Kevin Ayers defending. Steve Yanni goes to the inside here in the Porsche in turn 17. Running the inside here is going to cut his speed, which is going to allow the Ferrari to stay on even terms on exit and have the inside for turn 1 here. He's going to try an outside run here. Going to stay relatively even as LMP3 is going to bit impatient. But it's okay, he's only a new guy. One day he'll understand cars are racing, and even if they're a bit slower, their fight is no less important. Tim has let Sam Scott by as he harasses Davis Braun for 7th in GT3. Back in LMP3, Joe Stifel holding off Titus Lucas, who was successful in his attempts to get past Jason Lundy for 10th in LMP3. We're definitely getting close to the best pit stop window for the LMP3s. Running a slightly harder compound tire, these tires can take a bit more abuse and are a bit more consistent in terms of their pace over the course of a stint. So there's not a substantial reason to try and undercut for fresh tires, which means drivers tend to run a bit longer for their first stint. Looks like Nick Kuhn takes 4th place as Doug Hintz pits. Also promotes Shane Norton up into the top 5. Sean Fleming just 3 seconds back. Chris Hudson is meanwhile taken 2nd in class. Let's see if we can find out where that was. Looks like a pass in the back straight here. Richard McClure gets out of the way of these two cars, having received the blue flag. Heads up driving there. Bobby's splitting the cars here. That's going to cost James a bit of time. What James is going to try to do here is going to try to stick with Bobby, hoping that Bobby's going to get stuck up behind the Ferrari ahead. And when the time is right, hopefully we'll try to follow Bobby through and force his way into second. At this point, Chris is definitely wanting Bobby to get by quickly without impeding him too much. Bobby might look here into the... Yep, into 16. That's going to slow up Chris just a little bit, but the gap is plenty still that he doesn't have to worry too much about an overtake just yet. Bobby runs wide in the final corner here, into the wall. Oh no! Chris has been caught up in that. Oh no! It looks like James managed to just avoid. Yeah, you can just see. Oh, that hurts. That's going to promote Jose De Leo into third in GT3. That is horrible luck there. Go continues to lead, 9 seconds back. Very good battle for second. Still between Rafael and Christian. They're gonna get balked just a little bit here from traffic. Christian's gonna try to take advantage of this, but nope, traffic helps Rafael by getting out of the way. Christian gets held up just slightly. Rafael moves to the center of the track to defend, then moves inside and moves back and forth on the back straight. That is blocking. Does get out of the way. Possibly to pit this lap. Yep, that's what it looks like. Good. Lock up a little bit, coming to the line. Alright. With about 15 minutes to go, we'll go ahead and do a rundown from the top of the field. Miguel leads LMP3 after his nearest competitors unfortunately managed to wreck themselves out of contention. Currently having about an 11-second gap over Christian Oquendo, who benefits from Rafael pitting and has a nice comfortable margin at this point. Rafael Sosa doing a great job of running consistent and cleanly here and capitalizing on the mistakes of others to basically look at a relatively safe podium as long as he can stay out of trouble. 13-second gap of safety net over Sean Fleming, currently running 4th. Navigating traffic here, trying to get around Doug Hintz. And that Barbie livered LMP3 directly ahead. It's not going to happen into 17, but it might on the exit. Alright, after pit stops, looks like Jose Stelfo comes in from 4th. Michael Parker in the recovery drive up to 5th at the moment. Should be okay on fuel at this point. So that should give Michael 4th, I believe, as he attempts to hunt down Rafael after the pit stop. Ooh, so that might actually be a good battle here to watch. Tadas Lundqvist currently up in 6th. Relatively quiet race for Tadas, having not qualified and starting 19th in class. It's definitely good to see a strong result here from that. At this point, I don't believe Tadas has yet pit. Someone who I believe has pit, Nick Kuhn, I believe, who was 4th at the time, is currently shown in 7th. Running a... Oh no! Oh, good save there. A dentist livered livery for LMP3, which is quite appropriate. Alex Maynard unfortunately spinning there in the turn 17. Just a little bit too much speed into the corner over the bumps in the rear and just swaps out there. But luckily manages to stay out of the wall. Alright, as pit stops continue in LMP3, Shane Norton goes back into 6th. Actually, no, into 6th, directly behind Nick Kuhn there in a battle for 5th. And then behind them, by about a second, Doug Hintz, sitting 7th. Looking on the inside of James Gong into turn 10 and thinks better, thankfully. That could have been a bit rough. Sean Fleming has come out directly behind this in 8th. Currently running 9th in LMP3, Brett Stevens. Longhorn Racing, very active in the CMS community. Very good endurance driver as well. Joe Seifel after the pit stop, a little bit further back in 10th. As he navigates behind Peter Braun in the BMW ahead. Tadas after the pit stop, comes out in 11th. Directly ahead of Rodney Campbell, who unfortunately had the issues early on in the race. David Anderson, running in the CMS livered LMP3. Currently rocking 13th in LMP3. Joining us this season, hopefully for a full season effort. Always good to see David running with us. After all, CMS would not be much without David. A little bit further behind, Jason Lundy and our Porsche livered LMP3 in 14th. All 14 LMP3s here on the lead lap. Christian Youngwall continues to lead with a healthy margin in GT3. And our pork livered Porsche over James Gong in the Lamborghini Huracan. Directly behind, Jose DeLeo and the BMW M4 making a very good run here, having to close the gap after the pit stops. That battle 4 seconds looking very good. Just directly behind them, Mark Nister has closed the gap as well, having started 29th and slowly and methodically worked his way up the field. Is also looking very good for podium potential. 5th place, Davis Braun, has also been working his way up. Not too far behind him, Manuel Sandoval and our Rexy livered Porsche, which most people agree is one of the best liveries you could possibly have on any car. Directly behind him, Sam Scott, running very close in that battle for 7th there. I should say battle for 6th, with Sam currently 7th. And then directly behind, by just 2 seconds, Steven Yanni in the Porsche.
Michael, I don't know what happened.
Currently trying to hold off Kevin Ayers behind.
Man, blue flag, you can yield and let me buy easy without problem.
James Stacy in the other pneumatic BMW, doing a very good job tonight, running out the top 10 in GT3. The teammate,
like a blue flag, you know, you see
Biharon, running 11th.
Some room to race and let go. One is the leader.
Looks like he's under attack right now from Tyler Lemp. Oh, Tyler's going to go to the inside for the hairpin here.
Please, guys.
And looks like he's going to take the position. Nice clean pass there into the hairpin at 7. All right, back in 13th, Chris Hudson, after the horribly unfortunate incident on the exit of the final corner. Trying to salvage top 10 here. And just behind him, Jack Clark in 14th. 29th overall, and I believe 15th in LMP3 is David Kaufman. After an unfortunate incident quite early in the race, lap 7, I believe, lap 8 and 9. On a recovery, same with the car behind, Matteo Scaptera. We saw that bad incident with the car turn 1, and the massive damage that happened from that. Tim Collier, 15th in GT3 in our Can-Am Ferrari. Behind him, Dennis Crosby, the Mercedes, trying to hang on to Tim, not let him get away. A little bit further behind, Audi Reynolds in the what appears to be the sister car to James Gong. Has a nice safe gap right now. Simon Taggart a little bit further behind here in the Mercedes AMG. Running 18th in GT3. Actually, it looks like 19th now that Richard McClure has taken 18th. Oh, Simon runs a little wide there in the final corner, just having to deal with all the weight on the front end of that car. A little bit further behind in the Ferrari, Tim Burkhart. Jack Daniels livered Ferrari. Gardeersim a little bit further behind in the Audi R8. A little bit deep into turn 3, but navigates it quite well. John Thompson, a couple seconds behind. And another Ferrari 296. David McNeil's, after the incident earlier, running 23rd in GT3. Warren McGarry in the BMW, 24th in class. Unfortunately for Warren, BMW's a little bit more boring to drive than the Ford or the McLaren. But it is a nice competitive car, so hopefully we'll see some good results from him. Serving the stop, Mike Tyler, having a nice long run in his Ferrari. Passing him on track for 26th is Alex Maynard. A little bit further back, Doug Betts, moving up to 27th. And it looks like 44th overall is going to be Bobby, getting repairs right now. Bob Leaskos. John Majorbanks, unfortunately, looks like had another issue. Who was looking so strong there at the beginning. Sean New, 46th. Larry Ford, 47th. Paul Darling, 48th. And AJ Condola, 49th. Alright, as we come into the final minute, I believe this may be Miguel's last lap. We'll see. A little bit further back, Nick Kuhn still leads in 5th over Doug Hintz, and Shane Norton, who's going for a pass here into the hairpin. He's going to try to get the exit here. Doug Hintz. Looking every which way. Miguel coming onto the back straight here. James Gong still holds off Jose and Mark. Miguel coming through the final corner here. I don't think that was the checkered yet. Okay, I think our lapse time started 2 minutes early for the recon lap. So good news, more racing. Oh, it looks like Doug ran a little bit wide there in the final corner. Shane Norton's going to try to take advantage of that. Doug carrying a bit more speed into the corner as they start to come up on traffic here. Gotta be careful not to lock up the brakes. Shane does a good job of that. Oh, up ahead you can see Nick having to get held up by the Mercedes there. But it doesn't look like Doug got a good enough of a run. But he's going to try to go for it on the inside here. A little bit of understeer, a little bit of contact. That's going to have Nick check up there. And oh, looks like Shane's going to slip through. Oh, guys, be good, be good, be good. Oh, no. That's unfortunate there. Shane Norton running into the back of Doug Hintz there, who was running a bit defensive there. That might have been a bit questionable there. Unfortunately, that's ruined both of their races. Jose's still holding on to James here as they have to deal with LMP3 traffic. Unfortunately, GT3s, when running at race pace, are completely at the mercy of the LMP3's ability to pass safely. LMP3s get a little bit more power through the corners, a little bit more aero. These are tools they have to do these overtakes safely. Unfortunately, it's a difficult car to drive at the best of times. And so patience is usually required to safely get around these GT3s. Shane Norton unfortunately dropping down the order here, having to pit for repairs. Tough to see after the good start for him after starting 15th and fighting there for 5th. White flag for Miguel as he starts his final lap of this 60-minute race. Good 11.5-second gap over Christian in second. Rafael's trying to stay consistent here, trying to make sure Michael's unable to catch him in time. Oh, it looks like Jose was successful in getting around James for second. Let's see if we can find out what happened real quick. Oh, it looks like there was an incident into turn 5. Oh no. That looks like possibly Bobby or Tadas. Oh no, Tadas just a little bit too much on the exit. That forced James to check up, and Rafael was not shy in taking advantage of that. Oh, another issue for Alex Maynard in the final corner there. All right, coming into the final corner here. New guy Miguel Colon. Dominating race after the issues from his competitors.
For that position, Tyler. Keep going.
Takes the win. Nice, easy victory for him. Well done. Second goes to Christian as he crosses the line. And in that final battle for the podium spot, Michael's just going to miss out by a lap. Rafael Sosa holding on to that final podium spot.
Wow.
Coming across the line here, Sean is just slightly behind Nick Kuhn for the battle for fifth. On the back straight here, Christian Youngwall, I believe, has led every single lap in GT3 tonight. He's going to come across the line, taking the checkered flag. Very good win. Jose still trying to hold off James coming into the final corner. Lap traffic's playing a part here.
Had to do it.
What is traffic doing? That's going to ruin any chance James has for a really good exit here. Oh, they raced to the line, but man, that's tough to see. That was looking like a really good fight there. Mark Nisser, great job running up to fourth. Oh, coming across the line. Kevin Ayers and James Stacy. Kevin just managing to hold on to it. Oh no! Contact between Peter Herbron and Tyler Lemp.
Miguel on the
Oh no, that's
in LMP3 class.
unfortunately looks like a mistake from Tyler. Just gets in way too deep and runs into the back of Peter there. That's
coming out tonight, and
that's unfortunate. That's not what you want to see. And yeah, no GR applied.
We'll be back next
week. Boy, what is the new guy? Unfortunately, is unaware that cars are still racing on track and
thanks, Michael. Thank you, guys.
Makes avoidable contact there.
All right, fellas. Congratulations.
You do not want to see that. Oh, Tyler does perform the GR. Well done there. Unfortunate that it had to result in contact there, but it happens.
Had to mess with you, Dennis.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Little stack up on pit entry. It happens.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, well, there you have it, folks. Miguel Colon wins LMP3. Christian Youngwall wins GT3. Both in relatively dominating performances today. 60 minutes of Sebring is always tough, dealing with traffic and the track itself. We'll be back for round 2. I believe next week. Yes, next week, October 11th at Fuji with no chicane. Which is going to be very interesting to see how the LMP3s deal with that very long front straight. But, alright, well, until then, thanks for watching. And I am so sorry you had to watch this. I tried my best. Alright, take care, everybody.